With this list of operations, we can now submit our request using the Google Ads Service mutate method, or we can also use batch processing. We can even add these operations to a queue to issue our request later if we'd like. I have a sample schema here. Let's give this a try. As you can see, I was able to successfully create 2 PMax campaigns. That covers our creation flow, but I do want to take a little bit of time to cover reporting and updating. I understand that some of you may have sophisticated infrastructures with local copies of Google Ads resources and mechanisms to sync data. For our purposes, we're going to look at a simpler flow where you retrieve data using SearchStream, update objects locally, and then issue a request to update those resources. And for our purposes, I'm going to focus on efficiently retrieving campaign data that can be used to display to users and/or update your campaigns. In going through this exercise, my goal was to recreate as much of our initial schema as possible with a single request. To do that, I'm going to issue a query against the asset group asset resource because I can leverage the attribute resources, asset group, campaign, and asset. With that, we can recreate much of our original schema with the exception of our campaign budget and any asset group signals and asset group listing group filters. You can also enrich this schema with resource metadata or even performance metrics. Fields like campaign or asset group, primary status, and primary status reasons can also provide you with useful information about why your campaign may not be serving, which Mattia covered in his session earlier. Other fields like asset group asset performance label can tell you about how assets are reporting. I'm not going to get into too much detail since Laura already delivered an entire session on reporting. However, you can use this data to inform decisions about which parts of your PMax campaigns to update and how. When updating resource fields, you can do this like any other update in the Google Ads API. Change the fields on the object you want to update, create an update mask using the field mask utility, create your update operation, and finally issue your request. However, you must take a different approach to update entities represented by discrete resources, such as the assets associated with an asset group. To add assets to an asset group, use an asset group asset create operation. And to remove an asset from an asset group, use an asset group asset remove operation. We don't have time to get into this today, but you could also leverage parts of the existing pipeline we reviewed today to construct a new update schema, validate the end state of your PMax campaign, and then finally issue your request. We've gone through a ton of content today, and I hope this session was useful. Perhaps you'll employ some parts of the pipeline I shared with you in your own infrastructure. If nothing else, I hope this session helped bring together many of the concepts that we've reviewed today in a more concrete fashion, while also giving you a few tips and tricks to navigate PMax campaign management with the Google Ads API. As always, you can take advantage of our support resources in case any questions come up at a later time. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you next time.